if everybody will please stand, call the meeting to order with the invocation by Councilman Griffin. Followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us pray. Father, I thank you for your love, your peace, your kindness. Lord, help me to replicate those in my life. Lord, help us as leaders of this city to be open-minded, to be transparent, and to do the best that we can for the people of Florence. These things we pray in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. White, if you'll call the roll.
Councilmember Griffin.
Here.
Councilmember Eubanks.
Present.
Councilmember Edwards.
Here.
Councilmember Oliver.
Here.
Council President Simmons.
Here.
Madam President, we have 5 council members in attendance, and therefore a quorum is present.
Thank you. At this time, we'll have a message from, no, approval of the agenda, I'm sorry. Does anybody have anything to move or anything?
I'll make that motion.
Clear.
Motion by Ms. Eubanks, second by Mr. Edwards, the approval of the agenda as presented. All in favor?
5 votes for, none against, motion carries.
Now we'll have a message from the mayor.
It's certainly been a busy week, and another busy week ahead of us here in the city of Florence. Last week was the 42nd annual WC Handy Festival. I know Saturday, lots of other things were happening. I know there was a group of Alpha Phi Alphas here, probably 60 of them, and that's a great program. Lots of things, lots of people in our restaurants and hotels around. I couldn't be more pleased. At the work session, I made comment about Randy Burns and Bill Jordan and all the employees in the Park and Rec who worked tirelessly on our recent softball World Series here. They had 57 teams. We have 20 teams coming in for the upcoming baseball World Series. Sportsplex looks terrific. But probably one of the most exciting and I guess emotional events we had last week was our dedication of our new Miracle Field. I know that got some good play in media recently. It was a spectacular event, and I couldn't be more pleased that this will be a part of our new program this fall for special needs children and adults. And I walked away very proud of what we're doing, and I want to thank everybody that's come here from across the planet. Really, we've got individuals here from Australia and the Netherlands, Puerto Rico, states all across the country. So it's been a good time to be in this community, and people have reached out and touched and spoken and offered volunteering for many ways. So I'm just delighted with that. Now at this time, I'd like to do something I think special. On July the 15th, the Civil Service Board of the City of Florence chose Mike Holt as the next police chief for the City of Florence. I'm thrilled to have an individual with his experience and expertise, and we look forward to working with him as head of the police department. It's a great opportunity now for him to come and make comment and also to introduce 3 new officers. Chief.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council. Just to address the group, I'm humbled by the decision that was made recently. I have a commitment to this community, to city government, to our officers. My number 1 priority is going to be the safety and security of the citizens and the visitors to the city of Florence. I have a commitment to my officers to make sure they're the best trained, the best equipped, so that they can better protect the people of Florence. And it's my goal just to provide the highest level of police service for all people in the city of Florence. So I'm very humbled by that, honored by the decision that was made, and just really excited about getting to work. So, without further ado, enough about me. So I have our three newest police officers that we've hired. This is always an exciting, special time. So what we'll do from the left to the right, we have Izzy Harper. I'm standing for you there. We have Lucas Cutts. We have Ivan Garrison. They go through a strenuous selection process. It's somewhat lengthy. They're vetted heavily. I can assure you that these three officers are well equipped, ready to accept the challenge, and they'll be going to the police department or police academy in late August. All goes well, we hope to have them cut loose around Thanksgiving, so they can be out protecting our folks around that time. So we're really, really excited. So welcome to Florence Police.
Do we have any reports from any of the department heads? Any reports from any standing committees? I do have one, the building and the planning committee. We met on July the 8th. The attendees was the committee members, was myself and Jimmy Oliver. Others present was Mayor Betterton, David Coombs, John Van Sant, Daughtery Parrott, Jim Stanfield, Rusty Carbine, Danny Pettis, and River Zareski. Mr. Coombs discussed the possibility of purchasing some property in Industrial Park to have the transfer station located there, which is about 18 acres. The rates are going to be increasing from $33.88 a ton to August. It'll increase to $65.75 for the transport station ton. The purchase will allow us to have our own location, which would be a savings. Public Works mechanic shop for the fire department would also could be housed at this location for more space and for more room. And the property is at Shoals Tubular, which is KT Holding. Also discussed, met with in the meeting was the Lauderdale Expansion Committee, and they met to have some discussion regarding the current parking deck after the demolition, to share some ideas regarding some possibility of some new development ideas, which we own a half block of the city block, and wanted us to start thinking what could happen there, what could be developed there. It was just basically a brief discussion of the city hall and the possibility of the cost to remove the deck. At that point, the meeting was adjourned, and myself, Katrin Sims, is the committee chair. We don't have any public hearings. Mr. White, if you can go ahead and, at this time, we'll have business from the floor, that anything that's pertaining to the consent and the regular agenda. And at this time, any of the candidates will be able to consent. And at this time, any of the candidates that's here, you have an opportunity to come forward at this time to speak. So there's nobody. We'll start with the middle aisle. River.
I'll be keeping my own time, Mr. White. And I'll start that now. Let me raise the mic. Hi. My name is River Zaretsky, and I'm seeking the position of the District 2 council person vacated by former President Dick Jordan. As a lifelong citizen of Florence, I possess a lot of knowledge and insight about the city. I was born at ECM in 1999 and have spent my entire life as a citizen of District 2 living in the McFarland Heights neighborhood. I attended W.C. Handy Head Start, Kilby School, Shoals Christian, and graduated from Faith Academy. I've been interested in local and state politics since 4th grade when my class visited our state capitol. After graduating from high school, I completed formal training to become a Stagmore storm spotter for the National Weather Service. This was inspired by witnessing firsthand the devastation violent weather inflicted upon the citizens of Alabama on April 28, 2011. Using advanced radar, I monitor severe weather and live stream publicly during tornado warnings for Lauderdale, Colburn, and surrounding counties. My familiarity with reporting severe weather to the National Weather Service and assisting local emergency management agencies will be a valuable asset to my role on the Florence City Council. I'm actively engaged with the Shoals community and I've built a social media presence on Facebook and Instagram while concurrently pursuing my interest in local and state government. In 2020, I ran for the District 2 Florence City Council seat at 21 years of age. While I did not expect to win this election, I gained invaluable experience from my political campaign and developed a greater understanding of the needs of my constituents and how local government works. In 2023, after the Allen v. Milligan Supreme Court ruling, I was only one of 4 private citizens in the state of Alabama to submit a congressional map proposal to our state legislature. Creating a congressional map of the state taught me a great deal about the electoral process and the demographics of various regions within our state. After submitting my map, I contacted multiple state legislators, including Representative Terry Underwood, who's in the audience tonight, and Speaker of the House, Nathaniel Ledbetter, who read my email correspondence with him aloud during the reapportionment committee hearings. This helped me gain valuable information about the complex process of getting legislation passed in Montgomery. If you select me as the next District 2 council member, I hope to be an example to younger citizens and encourage them to participate in the political process. My selection as the District 2 council representative could also inspire persons with disabilities to become involved in local government. At the last city council meeting on Tuesday, July 2nd, I spoke about being diagnosed with autism and losing my ability to communicate as a young child. Losing my speech became a tremendous motivation for me to become a voice for others now. As a person with autism, I also would bring a valuable new perspective to issues brought before the Florence City Council. While living with autism is challenging, it also comes with specific strengths which include honesty, logical thinking, special attention to detail, and a strong sense of justice. This, coupled with my faith in God, could help champion integrity and equitable representation of all voters within our city government. I'm very active in our local community, and you can regularly find me attending events such as First Fridays and grand openings of new businesses. I regularly patronize Shoals music venues and use my Facebook and Instagram pages to promote dining, shopping, and engaging in recreational activities locally. I'm also one of only a handful of citizens who regularly attend Florence City Council meetings. While I'm deeply committed to local government that fairly represents the population of Florence, I don't have wealth, own a business, or possess political connections. This is exactly why I'm qualified to ethically serve the citizens of Florence. Mistrust in government is at an all-time high. Integrity must be restored to the governmental process, and elected officials should fairly represent the needs of voters who elected them, not just the interest of a select few. While I believe that a special election must occur in order to ethically fill the District 2 council seat vacancy with a representative chosen by the voters, as one of 2 remaining eligible candidates who ran in the 2020 election, I'm willing to serve the citizens of my district under the current circumstances until a lawful election can be held in 2025. My reason for this is to prevent the appointment of a person who never ran in a city council election being appointed to the position simply because he was selected by the former city council president. If the remaining council members rubber stamp his appointment, this will perpetuate public perception of corruption and favor given to special interest groups by disenfranchising the 2,811 voters in District 2 that voted in 2020. Alternatively, if the city council chooses to appoint either Reverend Billy Ray Simpson or me, who are known to voters from the previous election to this position until a lawful election can be held, it might help restore some degree of public trust in our city government. For this reason, I stand ready to temporarily serve as a city council member representing District 2, and feel free to ask me any questions tonight if you need to before y'all make your decision. Thank y'all very much for your time.
Thank you. Anyone else in the middle?
Well, first, I'd like to thank River for going first. That's always tough. So, thank you, River. My name's Jackie Hendricks. I've got my lovely wife, Deborah, with me tonight, and we've lived in District 2 since the year 2000. There's been a little bit of misinformation out there about me, so hopefully I can clear some of that up tonight. I grew up on Auburn Street in East Florence, and I proudly attended Maud Lindsay Kindergarten. I went to Wheaton Elementary School, went to Coffee High School, and I graduated with a management degree from UNA with honors. I'm a small business owner and founder of Party Pros USA, where I employ 35 employees. So I feel like I've been prepared for this opportunity for most of my professional career, mainly through my community involvement and my business experience. I'm currently the chairman of the Florence Tree Commission. I represent State Representative Terry Underwood, who again is with us here tonight, on the Lauderdale County Community Development Commission. That's the TVA and Lewis tax grants. I serve on the Lauderdale County Selective Service Board. I'm past chairman and past treasurer for CETA. I was the chairman and vice chair of finance for the Shoals Chamber of Commerce, and a board member and treasurer for Downtown Florence Alliance. Finally, I'm a graduate of the City of Florence Volunteer Ambassador Program, Leadership Shoals, and Leadership Alabama. Through these organizations, I've traveled to Washington, D.C. and Montgomery many times with our local leaders and our coordinators. So now for the primary misunderstanding. I had the honor of helping set up the Florence Parks and Recreation Foundation over the past year. It took about a year to do this. This foundation provides a way for people to make tax-deductible donations to support parks and playgrounds, and for the organization to apply for federal grants. Many other city departments have similar foundations in place and have been very successful with them. So I was asked recently what the biggest challenge is for the City of Florence. And personally, I feel that it's probably a shortfall with our capital projects. Due to inflation, because I've dealt with the same issues with my business. It just has to be out there. I was also asked what was the biggest challenge for District 2, and from the calls that I've received, and I have received many, I think that we've got some work to do with some of our downtown business owners. And if selected, I look forward to doing exactly that. So to sum it up, there's a lot of work to be done and a lot of tough decisions that the council's gonna have to make. So in preparation, I have proactively requested and read the following public documents: the general fund budget, all 92 pages of it, the solid waste budget, the special funds budget, the 2023 financial audit, all 121 pages of that one, and I've also read the 2016 parking study and the recent Pine Street corridor study. So in conclusion, I feel like I can make immediate contributions to the residents of District 2, the citizens of Florence, and to the council itself. And I would be honored to receive your vote tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Hendricks. Anyone else in the middle?
Thank you, Madam President, and to the council. Billy Ray Simpson, 755 West Alabama Street, Florence. Been a resident, District 2, for about 13 years. Also ran in the last election for City Council, District 2. So I've been coming up here for 20 years, so I just didn't pop up on y'all. I believe I know all of y'all, y'all know me. And most of our meetings in house has been positive. Every once in a while, I might have a problem with somebody, you know. But I've been working in the community with Meals on Wheels, working with the elders in our city, the homeless. Been working with a lot of people that have problems. And most of the time, they don't come, but they ask me to come before y'all and speak on their behalf. So it's been a challenge, but I believe that because I have been coming up here and knowing each one of y'all, Mr. Musgrove, Mr. Lee, and the department heads, that I could fit in right good and sit down and hit the ground running. And I believe you know what I mean. Hit the ground running. So that didn't come to tear nothing down, oppose anybody, but I came to move the city forward. And if you appoint me, that's exactly what I do. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Simpson. Anyone else in the middle aisle? If not, to my right, anyone? David?
Hello, my name's David Carson. I live in Florence, and I'm not running for council person for District 2. I'm here to help advocate for, or at least say that we should have a special election. This is undemocratic. This is undemocratic. And the code that was stated on the agenda, or is linked to the agenda, it stated had the terminology of alderman instead of a councilman. So if you guys go ahead, guys and ladies, if you go ahead with this undemocratic process, I'm gonna call you alderman from now on, because that's what you qualify as, is your alderman. You're not councilman, you're alderman if you're going by this code. So yeah, it's undemocratic simply because there's not a single person in District 2 that's gonna get a vote on this. Not a single person in District 2 gets to vote on who represents them. So, like, there's over a year until the next election is upon us, and it's more than over a year till, like, the term ends for that. I have a hypothetical question, like, where's the line? As far as just like people stepping down and you guys getting to choose who takes their place. Can, like, someone win an election and then die or drop out after 30 days, and you guys pick someone else that serves another like the rest of the term for over 3 years? Where's the line? I'd like to some clarifications on that, because it seems like that system could definitely be worked somehow. Special election would not be expensive. I mean, you guys throw away a lot of money on a lot of different things. It would not be expensive. You open up maybe 1, maybe 2 poll places, people show up, they vote. Done in a day. It wouldn't take that long. It could be done in a day. Most elections should be done in a day, but yeah, it could be done in a day. So issues of time and expense, that's not really relevant. Though I did look into it, and I had others look into it, according to the law and current precedent, this body can do this way. I think the law should change, but it doesn't mean that you guys must do it this way. You have a choice. Y'all chose to do it this way. Y'all chose to vote on this with 5 people instead of all the people in District 2. This was a choice. So I don't want to hear anything about, like, I'm going to turn it over to an attorney or whatever. Like, he just advises you of your choices. The choice was made to do it this way. This is undemocratic. 5 people is not a democracy. I'm sorry. This is one of the few positions that the citizens do get to vote on. You're taking it away from us, taking it off the table completely. The voters have been bypassed. This position, I mean, the people applying for this position are not trying to persuade voters, because they're not voting for them. They're persuading 5 people. So this is a contest of kissing up to 5 people. Whatever kind of deals can be exchanged or understandings that we made, you know, this is them appealing to 5 people. This is undemocratic. This is not a representative. This is not being a representative. And whoever is chosen, just know this, that this will stay on you. This will stay on you. You did not earn this. This will stay on you. And that's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Carson. Anyone else to my right?
Hello, Madam President and all of the council. Mr. Leidy, thank you for accepting my resume. And to everyone here, I'm thanking you for giving us this moment to speak. My name is Inga Harden, and I am a fellow business owner downtown Florence. I have been operating business here in the state of Alabama for 20 years, over 2 decades, and I have been operating downtown Florence for 17 years. I also operated 3 locations at one time. One was in the state of Tennessee, the other in the city of Sheffield, while I operated in Florence. My other 2 businesses closed due to COVID, but we stood strong in Florence through the epidemic. So I am here today as a resident of District 2 and a business entrepreneur of District 2. I also have commercial properties that I rent to several business owners to keep their property and business here in Florence. I keep their rent very minimal so that they can operate in Florence. I believe in the city of Florence. I believe in District 2. I also have my children here with me. I have Christian, who's in college and plays football for Bethel University, the left tackle. My daughter Kyra, who plays volleyball for Florence High School. And my daughter Angel, who plays volleyball for Florence High School and the cello. I have my mother here and some of my family here in support. If I have your vote, I will do my level best to be the best representative for City of Florence, District 2. I plan on bringing different businesses to the City of Florence. I plan on making my family and the city proud. I will do my level best to work with revenues for the city. I work with multi-millions of dollars when I worked for Northville Psychiatric Hospital in Northville, Michigan, and in Transitions of Michigan when I worked in substance abuse. So I have a background in accounting, and I have a background in running a business that has taught me how to also run areas of the city. I am here as a representation of Inga's Lashes and More and a representation of District 2. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Harden. Is there anyone else to my right that would like to come and speak on anything on the regular or the consent agenda? If so, you may do so at this time. If not, we will go ahead and, Mr. Lighty, if you will read the consent agenda.
All matters listed within the consent agenda have been distributed to each member of the Florence City Council for reading and study, are considered to be routine, and will be enacted by one motion of the council with no separate discussion. If separate discussion is desired, that item may be removed from the consent agenda and placed on the regular agenda by request.
Do I hear a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
Motion.
Second.
It's been a motion by Mr. Alvarez, second by Mr. Griffin, all in favor of the motion.
5-0. Motion carries. Item A under the regular agenda is a resolution to nominate and elect someone to fill the vacancy in District 2 on the Florence City Council.
I'd like to make a motion. I'd like to motion Ms. Inga Harden.
I'll second that.
It's been motioned. Do I have a motion for, I'm sorry, immediate consideration?
So moved.
Madam President, I'd also like to nominate Mr. Jackie Hendricks.
Do we have, can we do it now, or we need to carry it? Okay.
Otherwise, we can't,
You can do all
we
the
can't vote one at a
nominations.
time.
I'm
Do all
sorry,
the
Mr. Griffin. I'm sorry.
Take all the nominations
And then do it, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we have a motion for Mr. Hendricks. Can we get a
Second.
okay. Been motion by Mr. Griffin, second by Mr. Oliver, for Mr. Hendricks. So, any comments at this time, any discussion?
Yes, I did not know Mr. Hendricks until February of 2022. We had a procedure here in Florence which is called Coffee and Me. And our citizens got to know business owners and different people throughout the city. So I had a meeting, had breakfast with him one day at Homeside and got to know him that day. And at the end of the meeting, I asked him to run for District 2 councilman. And we've just been waiting for 2025. And because of Mr. Jordan stepping down, 25 became 24. So today I nominate Mr. Hendricks for that position.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
Let me also say, Ms. Inga, I read your bio top to bottom when I got it and was very impressed. And I admire a business owner, and in this day and time, especially a female business owner, that you've invested a lot of energy and obviously into your businesses. And I think I even shared with Ms. Simmons, was very intrigued by your bio, and regardless of what happens here tonight, it's my wish that you remain involved. I think you've got a lot to offer.
Thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am.
Any other discussions? No. So I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to refer to Mr. Musgrove, because this is our first that I've had to chair this. So do we just do them one by one?
Yes, ma'am. One by one.
Okay. All in favor of Ms. Harden?
Do we have to do a voice vote on these?
No, that's only for the council president pro tem.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
All in favor of Ms. Harden? All in favor of Mr. Hendricks? Do I get to vote twice? Oh.
Well, yes, you know, because the other motion fails, so you can vote twice.
Okay.
So,
Did you get that, Bob? Is that
that's perfectly legal, because
Okay.
the other one, it's two separate motions, and the first one failed, so the second one you can vote on.
Okay.
So Ms. Harden had one.
Can you explain to what just happened so people can understand what we just did here?
Yes, the nominations were taken, and two nominations were made and seconded, and then the first nominee was voted on and received one vote. And so that person was not chosen because it takes a majority, and so the second person, second nominee was brought to a vote and received 5 votes for, and so that is so that person was selected.
Okay. How can we go with the general business?
All right. Under general business, then we have alcohol beverage license application for a special event with on-premises liquor, beer, and wine by Dalton Swinney, do business at Shoals Southern Soul Concert, located at 702 Veterans Drive, to take place on Saturday, August 10th, 2024.
Do I have a motion for immediate consideration?
So moved.
Second. The motion by Ms. Eubanks, second by Ms. Simmons. All in favor of the motion?
5-0.
Do I have a motion for the adoption?
Motion.
Second?
It's been motion by Mr. Oliver, second by Ms. Eubanks. Any discussion? If not, all in favor of the motion?
5-0, motion carries. That's all I have, Madam President.
Thank you. At this time, we'll have business from the public with a 5-minute time limit, and we'll start to my right.
Hello, my name's David Carson. Hello, my name's David Carson. I live in Florence, Alabama. Before I start, I would like to say that Alderman Eubanks, I appreciate what you said during the work session, pushing back against the Hard Rock, and look, you did some research and stuff. I still don't like you, but you earned some respect.
Two of us.
But you earned some respect for me, so whatever that's worth. I'd like to see more of that. Okay, if people watching this and people in the room may or might not know, the comments are disabled on the live stream right now. That started last meeting earlier this month. And I gotta tell you, if I had to encapsulate the state of our local government in one thing, was whenever they did the fireworks show for the Spirit of Freedom live stream, and the comments were disabled for it. You know, I just thought that was just perfect. That was just perfect. But obviously, I think comments being, there's nothing says being free like having comments disabled. I think people don't get the irony. Anyway, comments being disabled, obviously, I'm not a big fan of. You know, I'm an opinionated person, and there's a lot of opinionated people in this town. Whenever the comments were cut off, me and others called up to the mayor's office and asked, what's up with this, you know? And the reason that was given to us initially was that people were complaining, they got some complaints because people were watching the live stream because the comments were getting in the way. I did some research, and actually there's like 3 different ways you can cut off your comments. You can disable comments while you're watching live stream. I actually made a demonstration video showing people how to do that. The city could use that if they wanted to. But I think a lot of us know that's not the real reason. The real reason is because I think this was the mayor's decision as well, because the mayor doesn't like criticism at all. I think he should either, I don't know, grow a backbone and talk back if his people say the things that they don't like, or he should grow thicker skin if he's going to be a politician. Some people might think this is a big deal. Some people might say that I'm a negative individual. I guess in context with the rest of the meeting, I can see how people can assume this. I consider myself more of a dissident. You know, that's a fancy way of saying that. You know, like I just think that people don't always agree. You know, there's a place for dissent. There's a place for disagreement. There's a place for debate. If there wasn't a public comment section here, just about every meeting would go just like this. The mayor would come up here. He does like a 1 or 2 like kind of pointless proclamations. Like he invites some people up. They congratulate each other and tell each other how awesome they are. Maybe they do a photo op or whatever, and then that's over with. And then the council people would read the agenda items, vote yes on everything, and then afterwards have comments where they tell each other how awesome they are, and then the meeting would end. You know, that's how the meeting would go. So I'm glad for now we have public comment section in the actual physical meeting. But if the trend of like cutting comments off online, I figure eventually you're going to get rid of this as well. But it's not a good look. It's not a good look. So I should bring the comments back. You know, feel free to respond back. I'm a big boy. I can take it. You know, I research the stuff I can get into. If I'm wrong, call me out. You know, I think that's how we grow as a society. Not with this. That's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else to my right? Anyone in the middle aisle? River?
Well, hello again, members of the Florence City Council. Again, my name is River Zaretsky. I live in the McFarland Heights neighborhood, and I've decided I want to use this 5 minutes that I have again to talk a little about my autism, because since there's some new people that are watching tonight and here in the audience tonight, I hope that I can use this as an educational moment to talk a little bit more about me. Growing up, as I talked about in the July 2nd council meeting, when I was a toddler, I got diagnosed with autism, and at that time I lost all my words except for mama and dad. I lost the ability to do many daily tasks that I have to perform to go about my daily life. I struggled to even walk. And what I'm going to say is, as I talked about at the last meeting, I'm very grateful for my teachers, Ms. Kelly and Ms. King at WC Handy Head Start, the people that worked with me outpatient at Helen Keller Hospital. They helped me perform daily tasks, and the people at Helen Keller Hospital helped me with my ability to walk. You know, losing my ability to do daily tasks, there were several things that you don't think anything of, that, you know, it's just pretty much a miracle for me that I can do today. I remember one day I was at Handy Head Start, and I was learning how to cut with scissors again. And I know y'all don't think anything about cutting a piece of paper with scissors, but I had to earn that, and I worked my way up. I'm proud that in 5th grade, when I attended Kilby, I'm proud that I studied geography and worked my way up after placing in the top 10 but not winning in 5th grade, winning the geography bee. Like I said, I'm very knowledgeable about geography, and I'm very happy that I was able to put those skills to use in drawing the congressional map, which I attached to my application. And I'm proud that my map got 1 vote from Mr. Terry Underwood, who's sitting in the audience, which I would like to thank him for tonight. Now, I also like to say, having autism, as I've talked about, meant I had to learn the ability to do several things, and I had to earn it. I had to earn that ability. And I believe that next year, while y'all have made your choice tonight, I believe that next year I will earn my seat on the Florence City Council when the election is held in 2025. And lastly, I want to end this on a good note. There are some things I'm grateful for tonight. I'm grateful that Ms. Simmons and Ms. Eubanks gave me over 30 minutes to talk to them about why I wanted to do this, especially knowing now that Ms. Eubanks was sick. I had no idea, and for that, I commend you working when you were sick. I commend you for that, Ms. Eubanks. I commend you for that. And I have 1 minute, 45 seconds left, so I'll end it with this. Besides being grateful for that, I'm very grateful for our 3 new police officers we're getting tonight. And I'm excited that tonight I got to meet our new police chief, Mike Holt. I'm looking forward to see what he's going to do with the Florence Police Department. And I'm very grateful for our former chief, Ron Tyler, for all his years of service to our city. And I look forward to seeing if he can get elected next year. And with that, I yield my time. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you, River. Anyone? Anyone? I'll come back to you. Anyone else in the middle? Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Hello. I'm really kind of shy, but anyway, I do want to stand before you, Madam President and the council. I live in District 1 myself, so I thank you for putting ads on Facebook in reference to the trash cans that's always staying out because people don't pick them up. But there needs to be, I would love for you to come in our area because there's some other things that's going on that's not good at all in our district. But what I would like to say, nothing against Mr. Hendricks and what's
Mr.
Rivers. I worked with autism, youth and adults before, and actually have family members that is autistic. But there's so many different levels, and you are blessed because some people cannot stand and do what you are doing. But I guess one question I would like to know and to ask, and that's because of something that I've read on Facebook where I think it was Mr. Jordan endorsed Mr. Hendricks. I think maybe Mayor Betterton, not you, okay, but someone from the city council did. And I guess my question would be, what was your criteria for choosing the replacement candidate for Dick Jordan? That's what I would like to know. How did you go by eliminating the candidates for this position for District 2?
Ms. Bridgetta, as a rule, we don't have dialogue back and forth during the meeting.
Okay.
We can talk to you afterwards, but we can't
talk
have
to
a
me.
conversation.
Okay. Well,
back and forth.
that's a question that I'd like to know. How was, because like he say, I know that you all have the authority to do replacements, but I'd just like to know how you made your choices between the individuals, because Ms. Eubanks said there was one that she did not get to interview. You said there was one that you did not get to interview. Can you even say which one you did not get to interview?
We can't have dialogue back and forth with you right here in this meeting.
Okay. Well, those are my questions. So do I come to you afterwards then to
You may.
ask those questions?
You may,
Okay.
sir.
Thank you.
Okay.
Excuse me, ma'am, what is your name?
It's Rejetta, R-E-J-E-T-T-A, Poole, P-O-O-L-E, and I live in District 1.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else to my right want to have anything, any comments? If not, we're going to go ahead with council members' reports. And Representative Underwood, it's good to see you here. Thank you for being here with us. At this time, we'll have council members' reports, starting with Ms. Eubanks.
Thank you, Ms. President. Ms. Poole, I would say, I said it in the work session when Ms. Simmons asked what we did and all that stuff. It was Mr. Hickman. I reached out to him a few times and left a couple of messages and spoke to his wife, but I never got a response from him. So that is the candidate that I did not speak with. Everyone else I spoke with, and I asked them all the same questions. And I'll be honest, it was a delight to get to know Ms. Johnson. I really think she has a passion for business and small business in our community. And Ms. Harden, sorry. Ms. Harden, sorry about that, sorry. I was calling you Inga, and I didn't want to do that up here, so. But I think she has a passion for small businesses, and I really appreciate anybody who can do that for as long as she's done it. And especially in the environment in which she's done it with all the upheaval we've had economically, but also the pandemic, which she referenced. I also spoke with River, I spoke with Mr. Simpson, I spoke with Mr. Hendricks, and again, asked him all the same questions. And it was very enlightening, and it was a very thorough conversation, and I appreciated the honesty that they all showed to me and the integrity with which they all approached this. Each individual who's put their name forward had a really strong sense of community, and as you've seen today, and this meeting is not unlike a lot of our meetings, we do have disagreements or we have our thoughts about things. So I think it takes a person who is prepared to do their homework and prepared to represent their district holistically. And I truly believe that any one of them that I spoke with would have been able to do that. So, and I sincerely appreciate that. And Inga, I will get that opportunity to visit with the chamber arranged for you. I think you've got a lot to give in that area. There's no question. So I'm grateful for each individual who did that. And with that, I will say congratulations, Mr. Hendricks. We welcome you to this body, and we encourage your voice that you will bring to us today. So thank you for your willingness to serve. And River, thank you for your testimony, but also your bravery. It takes a whole lot to do what you did, and I thank you sincerely for that. As River mentioned, I was one of the ones who was sick last time, and I apologize for my absence, but I sincerely appreciate the council and Ms. Simmons for allowing us to take a breather and everybody get our health back under us. I also wanted to say congratulations to Chief Holt. It's a really big deal that a new chief of police has been appointed during our tenure, and my experiences with him have been great. And already having 3 new officers to bring into the fold is a huge deal. So I'm excited to bring them in, and I wish them only the best as they go off to Police Academy. And then finally, as relates to District 4, the tree removal that was approved in the consent agenda is in a portion of Hickory Hills, and it's going to allow for some ongoing drainage work to take place at Berry, Bower, and McGuff, and that is a huge thing. It's been ongoing since I entered the city council several years ago, so I'm deeply excited to see us move forward with that. So I appreciate the approval and the consent of the council. So thank you all.
Thank you, Ms. Eubanks. Mr. Edwards.
I want to thank the Parks and Rec for the softball World Series, baseball World Series. It's been going sportsplex. It's an opportunity to introduce our community to people around the world. It's an opportunity that we have not had before, and they've done an outstanding job in preparing for it. I know it rained last week. The fields are in great shape. I just thank everyone that's involved in that, making our community really stand out. I want to congratulate Police Chief Mike Holt. He's got some big shoes to fill with Chief Tyler, but I know he's up for the job, and we're proud to have him as chief. We have an outstanding police department. We're very fortunate to have the police department that we have, the fire department that we have. I think we're the best there is, and thank you, Chief Anderton and Chief Holt, but y'all do a great job. Thank y'all. Congratulate Jackie Hendricks. Welcome to our council. It'll be good to work with you next year. And Representative, whatever your name is, Underwood, I know, I'm just kidding. No, I've known, he was mayor at Tuscaloosa for a while, we got a good relationship and have the highest respect for Representative Underwood. Thank you for being here. And just to say, I looked at and read and studied each resume that came through, and when you compare the resumes of each other, Mr. Hendricks has a lot of experience in city good things with business, with the community. He's been very, very involved for years in our community, and he's just his resume was just, to me, he just showed that he had more experience than others, and that's the reason I was supporting. He's been very involved in our community. And thank each and every one of y'all for presenting our resume. Thank y'all. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Edwards. Mr. Oliver.
Thank you. These last couple of months have been really, really stressful on all of us up here. Feeling or having Mr. Jordan step away from something he's been doing for so long, and of course, his health is not good. We've been dealing with a lot here, and of course, you heard the gentleman here tonight presenting the story with the Hard Rock Hotel this morning to go here, and we've kind of all been on edge. And I owe Miss Eubanks an apology for snapping at her a moment ago. That was out of line. She and I normally do that in private. We don't do it in front of people, but
Via email.
yeah, but I think that was a good indication of the pressure that we've been under we all want the same thing for our city, and that's to be the biggest and the best that we can be. And we all know that we need more hotel rooms, and if this is not in the cards to work, it just doesn't work. And we've just all been under a lot of pressure, but a little bit out of character for me to do that in a setting like this, or period, as far as that goes. So again, my apologies to her and you all for having to see that. And if you ever want to transfer to UNA and play football, I think I can hook you up. You look like you can play, okay? I'm just gonna leave it right there. They mentioned the Babe Ruth World Series. I have never seen so many softball players in my life at one place. We had a couple of thousand people out there last Thursday night in the rain, and dedicating the Miracle Field where the special needs children and adults can enjoy baseball and softball was just something to see. And all the girls from all over the world, Puerto Rico, Mexico, the Netherlands, you name it, and all over the U.S., were embracing those special needs kids out there and helping them play ball in the rain. And it just was it was awesome to see. And if you haven't seen our new Sportsplex edition, please go out and take a look, because it is really a sight to behold. And of course, as the mayor mentioned, coming right in after the girls leave tomorrow, the guys are going to come in and play baseball on those very fields right there with the Cal Ripken World Series. So our city has seen a lot of visitors, and I'm going to share one story with you. You never know what something like that's going to bring. I happened up on a lady and her daughter who's one of the softball players. They were at the coffee shop, and I introduced myself to them. Turns out she's a single mom, and her daughter was there with her, and she told me, she said, "We have been looking for a new home. They're from the East Coast, and they were here, and they said, we think we found it. We love Florence, Alabama." And then it turned into and she could even go to the college right down the street down here, and the daughter objected. "No, I know where I want to go." And at that point, I walked away. I said, "Y'all figure that out, just come live with us. We'd be glad for you to live in Florence, and hopefully you'll change your mind about UNA." But that was a great story to be a part of there, and hear someone from North Carolina say that they loved our city and wanted to relocate here. But appreciate all the work that's been put in out there at the Sportsplex. A lot of hard work putting on those events, and I can't wait to kind of get an idea of how much money has been pumped into our city via the World Series there. Mr. Hendricks, congratulations, and again, I look forward to working with you on this council, and again, I truly meant what I said earlier. For those of you who this did not go the way that you wanted it to go tonight, this is a temporary spot here. He's got to run again next year, just like we all do, and go through the election process. But until then, I know he's going to give it his all in this seat here. So I encourage you all to stay involved in the city government and just involved in the city, period. You got a lot to offer. I can see that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Albert. Mr. Griffin?
Thank you, ma'am. First off, to our candidates, thank you that you cared enough to want to come and serve here. That means a lot. And I'm sorry that only one could be selected. There was some great information put down. And it's like a good book when you read about people's lives. So thank you. And the second realm is serving on committees. And then that gets you prepared for serving on the council next time. So thank you for doing that. This past week, we have hosted a great opportunity for young people to come to our community, and they came by the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. I have never developed an ability to hobnob or before the dinner walk around and speak to everybody. If you'll notice, when I'm in meetings, I just go sit at my table. I just don't know how to do that. If I'm not working up front, I just don't know what to do. So I thought about the softball series and what could I do? So I texted Randy Burns and said, could I come drive a golf cart and just pick up people in the parking lot and bring them to the fields? And he said, please do. And it was hot and I was sweaty, but I had the best time. And every time I'd pick up a group of family and I'd ask them a few questions about where are you staying in Florence? Where have you been to eat? And then eventually I would say, do you expect your community to ever host anything like this? And it was 100% no. We know how much work goes into this. But we also know now that all of us would love to move to Florence, Alabama. I did mention I was a real estate agent while I was driving them around. Nobody asked for a card, but it was such a joy to work with these people. Mr. Burns is putting in hours from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. with his staff, and they just finished round A, and round B starts real soon. I got an opportunity to go visit for the dedication of the Singing River statue, and I had the opportunity to sit by Mr. Billy Warren, and the next day I found out I had COVID. And luckily he didn't get it. And so whenever my doctor said, you have COVID and you've got to go home and stay home, I picked up my phone and I said, would you call my boss? And he said, sure, who's your boss? And I said, Katrina Simmons. And she said, I'm not your boss. I said, well, I know that, but you're the president of the council. And I asked my doctor to tell her that I had COVID and I had to go home until Saturday because I didn't want to read in Shalonda that Bill skipped an important vote. It's just easy to lay out. No, I had COVID. And I didn't give it to anybody. Our Florence Police Foundation did a great job this past Saturday at the Broadway Baptist. I had to go show houses down in Cherokee, and the event started at 11. I arrived at 11:03, and the line to pick up backpacks was all the way down the parking lot, and the hot dog line went around in a circle through the parking lot. They met the needs of the community, and I just appreciate the police department and Broadway Baptist for taking care of that. Handy Week was just a blast. I didn't even think it was too hot. It was just good. Our comments being disabled, I thought they were back on. Hopefully we can take care of that. I spoke with several council members, and they all that I spoke to said, Well, let's get those back on. Not sure how they was turned off, but we'd like those to come back on. At last, Chief Anderton. There you are. I didn't really know you before you took over this position, but the more I work with you, the more I like you. And the reason is, it's not about you, it's about the people you serve and the force that you work with. And when I was a principal for 20 years, I said, nobody worked for me, everybody worked with me. And I found that in a basket of chocolate so the teachers could come through and pick up all they wanted, worked great. I love your attitude where they work with you. And Chief Holt, we had started something in Sweetwater District, which was, we're having some problems with the business down there that only operates 1 day a week, and they make enough money in 1 day that they stay closed the other 6 days. But after midnight, it gets pretty rowdy down at the drink factory. And our other police officer and I were working on this, and I thought, well, when our new chief comes in, we have to start all over. No way. He was ready. We text a couple of times a week. They've done some walkthroughs into the business after midnight because we've got police officers working. And I must say, the owner of that business has worked hard to make some improvements. And I hope that we will continue to improve that. It is my privilege to serve on this council. I enjoyed Ms. Eubank's comments tonight. They were well written, and she may have had a little fire in her soul when she said it, but you know, we need to do that sometimes. It lets the people know exactly how we feel. So I enjoyed that tonight. Once again, thank you for letting me do this. It is a fun job.
Thank you, Mr. Griffin. I want to say, first of all, thank you to everybody that have come tonight. Thank you for all of the candidates for taking the initiative to want to serve your city in a different capacity. And I want to say also, I vetted every one of the candidates. I called each one. I talked to them in length and in depth and let them pour out their hearts. And I think every one of them have the hearts to serve the city of Florence and serve their community and serve the people. I didn't find out one that didn't have that servant's heart. Also want to say congratulations to Chief Holt, the Chief of Police, and starting in his new role. I look forward to working with him as he serve and protect. Want to say congratulations to Mr. Hendricks. Look forward to working with you. Our districts, we share. I'm not going to use my other terminology, but our districts butt up against each other, so we'll certainly be collaborating a lot together with our districts as well as everybody on the council. Again, I just want to say thank you all for coming. Thank you all for bearing with me. This was an unusual election that I didn't know how to do because we've never had to do this before. But thank you, Mr. Musgrove, for bearing with me and answering all my questions that I continue to call to figure all this out. Again, Mayor Bellerton, do you want to have any final words? That's it. Thank you all. We'll have prayer by Mr. Edwards.
Let's stand. Most gracious Heavenly Father, we just come into that tonight. Thank you for your blessings you've given to us. Thank you for watching over us. Thank you for the city in which we live and for giving us knowledge to try to make the best decisions that we can. Be with us throughout this week. Watch over us. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.